Hi folks, welcome back to the River Ouse fishing channel. This is a video that I've been very excited to share with you, but I've been trying to keep it somewhat under wraps. This is all about catching, or rather fishing for, big barbel. Now around me, if you want to catch big barbel, the River Ouse is as good a place as any, and that's exactly where I headed on this first session, hoping that I might get into a couple of fish. I've actually never been that keen on fishing the Ouse. It's a bit notorious to me as a gear eater, having lost quite a lot of kit down there in previous years when trying to catch barbel. Despite this, I picked a new stretch of the river, one I'd never been to before. As it was getting dark, I dropped into more or less the first swim I could find that looked like it might do a bite. I got 2 rods out and relaxed for a couple of hours before eventually hooking into a fish. Well, we're in. I think it's a barbel. Feels a little odd. Yeah, that's a barbel, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. In the net it goes. Brilliant. Well, it's finally happened tonight. I've got a double figure barbel going £10, 4 ounces. Gave me a good run around. I am so made up to get this fish. It is an absolute beast. Let's get this guy back in the net, resting for a good long while, and then we'll slip him back. While I was absolutely ecstatic to land a double figure barbel on the first session, I do feel that I kind of just walked into it and was very, very lucky. Obviously, you know, experience of swim choice, everything like that, I'd picked a good swim clearly, but I couldn't help feeling that I'd just been cheated somehow. I really wanted to work for that fish, and just to catch it on the first session left me feeling a little bit flat. So what I actually decided to do was to go for a second double figure fish. I got the rods and everything back out in the car and started to fish quite a few sessions down on the River Ouse. So I'm back out on the River Ouse. It rained really heavily overnight, like absolutely torrential. So it's had a good wash through and a top up. You can see there's a little bit of more flow in it today than there was a couple of nights ago. So things are looking up for a bite. I'm fishing quite a snaggy swim, unfortunately. I didn't realise that until after I put a bit of bait in. But downstream is not too bad, so I'm going to persevere in this one, and fingers crossed for a barbel. It's already 8 o'clock, so I've only got a couple of hours fishing really, but that can be all you need as it gets into darkness to land a couple of fish. Sessions such as these were really quite tough. I was turning up in the dark, I was fishing in the dark, I never really got to see very much of the river at all, not to mention some extremely interesting weather that I fished through. Despite all the challenges of these sessions, I did manage to snag a few fish, but never the target species. I'd get the rods out and then see this very slight knocking on the tip, and we all know what that means: bream. Well, I'm into something. Not sure if this is a barbel. No, it's a big bream. Well, bream are obviously not an angler's favourite fish when they're going after specimen fish like big barbel. They can obviously take your boilies, and the only way to avoid them is either to fish big or minimise the amount of ground bait you're putting in. I personally don't mind catching the bream too much. Some of these were some real clonkers as well. But they did make me wait quite a few sessions until I finally managed to locate some barbel again. By this point, I'd worked out a little bit of a pattern to my fishing. I'd aim to get down to the river while it was still daylight, so I could mix up my ground bait, check out the swim, and prepare my hook baits. I could then cast out a few feeder fills and bait up where I was going to fish that night. It was then really a waiting game until bite time. I'd keep my eyes on the rod tips, ready for them to smash round just as it got dark.
Yeah, we're into a barbel. Yeah, in the net. Brilliant. Yes.
Well, it's finally happened and we're into a barbel. Not a bad fish. Very, very nice one indeed. Not the double figure I was looking for, but a fish is a fish, and after that bream I'm just very happy to get the target species in. Let's get this guy back resting in the margins. It was absolutely brilliant to be into a barbel at last after quite a few dark-filled sessions filled only with bream. I got the rod back out into the river. Little did I know how lucky I'd become in that I actually then had a double take.
Well, I'm in again. Is that a bream? I think it might be a bream. Oh shit, we've got a double take. That's a barbel. Good fish that. Got the net ready if it has a bream in it. Yep. Yep, there we go, in the net. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Oh, heavy.
Well, I've just had an absolutely crazy period. I was playing this quite nice bream actually, and then my other rod started to twist round and I've had an absolutely clonking barbel. We're going to get this bream back straight away and we'll give this barbel away and get it out in a second. Oh, he's big. Well, there it is, an absolutely mega barbel there, going 7 pounds 4 ounces on the scales. Gave a really hard fight. It's actually one of the biggest I've caught this season, so I am made up to catch this. This is going back in the water for a good rest, and then we'll slip it back. Well, we're definitely moving up the barbel rankings now. 7 pound 4 ounce, brilliant fish, absolutely mega. Both rods back out on their spots now. Fingers crossed for another fish, or maybe a double take again in the last half an hour of fishing. The remainder of this session passed really quite uneventfully. I had no more fish, and as it got around to 11 o'clock, it was time to pack up and head off home. About 4 weeks passed before I was able to get back down to the river. Commitments with work had just kept me too wrapped up. I hadn't even managed a quick evening session. I was also pretty tired of fishing in the dark by this point. I settled on a nice Saturday afternoon session. Conditions were looking absolutely perfect. Well, the last few days have been feeling cold and autumnal. It's dropped down to about 8 degrees. But today we're back up to beautiful sunshine. It's about 14, 15, something like that. So that's got to be worth a barbel, hasn't it? I'm just walking across the field to try and find a swim. The car park is a little busy, but hopefully we'll get somewhere to drop in.
Yes, we're in. Literally maybe only half an hour or so. Oh, it's just taking so much line in the heavy flow. It's out mid-river now. Absolutely brilliant. Mega stuff. Start to get a little bit of line back. Wow, so powerful in this flow. Look at that go. Literally nothing I can do to stop that right now. Kind of have to just play it out really. Hope for the best. Yes, that's a nice fish, that. Really nice. Brilliant stuff. Well, what an absolutely brilliant fish. I'm just going to hold it up very quickly. I think he's keen to go back, but there it is. 8 pounds 6 ounces. What a cracking barbel. Let's get this guy back resting. Just as I slipped that fish back, the heavens opened and it started absolutely hammering it with monsoon rain. Fortunately, I'd brought my brolly, so I managed to hide under it until the rain stopped and I could slip my rod back out into position without getting soaked. Well, time to drop this rig out again. Literally just out there is where we're going. Feel that feeder down, boom, it's down. So set this up and then we're good to go again. Brill, there we go. All of this rainfall was having a really marked impact on the river. Even just through sitting there, I'd noticed the river was actually still rising. An area of the swim where I'd had my feet was now underwater. All in all, the river rose about 6 inches throughout the whole of this session, and it was sweeping down some big branches and various debris. My tactic of casting just into the margin, where there wasn't as much flow, was paying off, however. Well, we're in again. Another good fish. I'm going to risk standing down in the water a little bit to try and get this one out. That's gone straight for the mid-flow. Oh dear. It's good to get bites, but boy is this hair-raising stuff. It's gone upstream slightly. Feeder again. There's the fish. Good one. Get the net prepped. See if we can tease it in. Not quite. We're so close to getting this fish in. Yep, there we go, in the net. Yeah, brilliant, mega stuff, absolutely brilliant. Oh yes, let's go. Oh, let's have a very quick look at this barbel. Whew, it's a big boy. And there it is. 10 pounds 4 ounces, absolutely brilliant, an amazing fish. I'm so made up to have this absolutely brilliant barbel and another big one, my second double of this season, in the net. Absolutely incredible. Well, I was a bit surprised when that fish went 10 pounds. When I was playing it, it didn't seem like a big fish, but when it was in the net, actually, it was a chunk. mega, absolutely brilliant. Oh, so happy. Relief as well, you know. I'm gonna eat some food. After a few hours, I'd had no more bites, but I wasn't disappointed at all. I'd landed 2 absolutely incredible fish this session, and just as it got towards darkness, I decided to pack up and head off home. I wasn't going to push fishing into darkness today. I'd already landed my double figure fish, which had really capped off my ooze fishing experience. I was absolutely made up to start with a double figure fish and end with a double figure fish of exactly the same weight, really coincidentally. I felt this landed me in really good stead to go forward into winter looking for some pike and, of course, my favourite, some chub fishing. I really hope you have enjoyed this episode as well. If you have, please go down, drop a comment as well, leave a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in future videos. Thank you for watching.